Welcome to SMSU Esports. Joining us tonight for SMSU versus Vespa Valorant Team B. For obviously Valorant, as the name implies, we will be getting to agent select here, and the map we're going to be playing on tonight is going to be Bind. Now, SMSU is coming off of a big win they had last week, a very dominating win, taking a 13-2 game on Ascent, which is the second win that they've gotten. Their first win now, however, was on Bind in previous weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how SMSU performs tonight. Um, Actually, only going to see one duelist coming out of their team comp here, which is a big change of pace from what we have been previously seeing in the Valorant meta before. Looks like we're going to be having two duelists coming out on the side of Vespa in the form of their Raze and their Phoenix. Both teams opting to have their smoke characters be Omen. And both teams also taking the Killjoy. The Killjoy all very strong on Bind. Obviously very strong on any map, but Bind specifically, once you get that ult down in either B or A, there are not a lot of places to fall back to.
For sure, and we see Vespa is going to be taking the attacking side as they had side selection. SMSU will be playing defense on this first half. And a couple different roster members in for SMSU here.
Yeah.
With Array and Papa Scruggs being, I don't think they've been involved in any of SMSU's wins, so SMSU going for a bit of a different lineup. Let's see if it has a little success for them. And actually, Bind was SMSU's choice too, so they are going back to that comfort. They actually had the choice between both of their maps that they've had wins on. They must feel a little bit more comfortable with Bind as that was their choice here.
Yeah, round starting off here, the Vespa deciding here to every single member on their team going for light armor and classics with utility. Quite a bit different from SMSU's buy with a Ghost and a Frenzy, I believe. Smoke's gonna go out onto Hookah, and now Smoke goes on to backside B. But
And
Vespa's
early
not
kill
here.
for SMSU. And are they gonna over-rotate here? They don't have any extra pressure. Just Sova rotating right now.
SMSU does leave their Reyna and their Breach. Breach on A, very powerful to be able to stop a push, but doesn't have his full utility early on in the round. Managed to get a kill
And right
bathroom,
now
but
they
gets
should realize
traded.
that they rotated here. They get the Sova Dart into Hookah here.
SMSU still has the man advantage, but Reyna for SMSU is very pushed up into bathrooms. This may actually throw off Vespa, though. Killjoy finally rotating over for SMSU. Now a 3v3. Now a 3v2 now. Vespa's going to get the plant down, and it's a 3v1 situation with Killjoy getting there quite late. Interesting to see what happens here. Vespa just set up here in U-Haul. And Killjoy, though she does get a little bit of damage onto that Raze, does not manage to take her down, and Vespa takes the first round there.
Yeah, and a 3K coming out for Raze. Raze having a great start to this match for him.
And Vespa getting a lot of just some free guns there too. Managed to pick up 2 of SMSU's Frenzies. And Vespa not investing any money into their into buying weapons that early round, just getting utility and shields. And SMSU here.
SMSU, interesting enough, not going for the force buy that we see is a lot more common now. Deciding to hold back and wait for rifles instead of forcing the issue now.
Dark Crystal is going to take out that Boombot Roomba, so, or not, whoops, that Boombot Hookah. No one going down on either side, no damage on any character yet. Vespa playing very, very slow and carefully here. An early rotate going to come over by the breach. The Owl Drone is going to go in. They're going to dart the Reyna. Reyna throws out a flash, gets flashed by the Omen. Spike is now down though, but the trade comes out, and Reyna for SMSU is not there to capitalize off of his teammate, and now SMSU in a 4v2 situation with both of their players split across the map. It's going to be very hard to play off.
And a beautiful double entry there from Phoenix, getting both kills.
SMSU here didn't buy any guns this round, so really more than likely just looking to Obviously try and clinch this round if they can, but if they can manage to at least take out a player or two for Vespa. But SMSU Silva does get taken down. Jaffro gets flashed and easily gets taken out by Vespa's Phoenix there.
And just like last round of 3K for Rays, last round of 3K for Phoenix, this round really showing SMSU who their power hitters are early here.
Yeah, it's interesting. We see that Vespa here is just going to try and bonus round this third round. All of them keeping their Spectres. Yep. And just one frenzy. But Vespa's economy very strong right now. If they take this round, they're going to break SMSU's economy. But SMSU has a full buy this round, so they really need to win this. If they get taken out by Vespa, Vespa's just going to be able to upgrade to their rifles and just absolutely break SMSU's economy, which would put them even further behind than these 2 rounds that they've lost so far.
This would be a huge round for Vespa to win.
SMSU having a lot of aggression up in that bathroom. Papa Scrubs on the breach. Holds his flash, holds his aftershock.
That is a rifle down from SMSU here.
Quite a bit of damage on Vespa, on their Rays, Killjoy, and Phoenix. But SMSU in a 2v4 situation once again. The Killjoy for SMSU here really needs to wait for his Reyna before he manages to get pushed out on there at all.
Reyna's being really passive though, not moving aggressively, playing this pretty slow.
SMSU's Killjoy and Reyna really need to play off of each other here, set up a crossfire, do some trades. SMSU managed to pick up one. Raze is very low for Vespa, but Vespa has full U-Haul control here, and Reyna's gonna try and peek into U-Haul here. Manages to get one. The Molly's gonna come out.
He's running out of time, needs to push this. Oh, deciding to go back into U-Haul, I think that secures the round for Vespa here. As Reyna just does not play it for some reason. It really actually was in an advantageous spot.
Yeah.
If she flashed out of U-Haul, that's pretty much a 1 round almost guaranteed. Spare some really interesting play coming out from Phoenix there, but
yeah,
really surprising to see a Ray.
Look at the economy here. 8K nearly on. Well, he's gonna buy full shield, so it'll be about 7K, but 7K on Vespa's Phoenix is really strong. He hasn't died yet. He is 6-0. And SMSU is gonna try and force here with a couple. 2 Buckies. They're going to have the Phantom on their Reyna, but, this Reyna for SMSU needs to be aggressive, needs to make those plays as Reyna.
And if she decides not to be aggressive, she should have dropped that rifle over to somebody who's going to be aggressive, because this is a really important round for SMSU. This is going to get out of control if they're unable to take a round in the next couple.
Yeah, we see a split, a 3-2 split here coming from Vespa. Actually parallel to the 3-2 split we see coming out from SMSU. And Vespa being really cautious here, playing really slow, just trying to bait out that utility from SMSU.
Now, I don't like the Stinger holding this long of an angle. It just makes it so hard to do anything.
Yeah, and especially after those nerfs, the burst delay on the Stinger, it's less accurate with consistent with burst one after each other. And you really have to play those closer angles than you did before. It has more recoil, and it has, it's not nearly as accurate as it was before. So, SMSU in a 4v5 situation, but,
in a terrible spot. Look at where this retake's coming out from SMSU.
Oh, and Jaffro tries to shadow step with Omen, but peeks into 2 of Vespa's players and just easily gets taken out as he gets stuck in that animation. And SMSU gets convincingly taken out by Vespa that round. And now Vespa with a 4-0 lead over SMSU has full rifles. Their Phoenix is capped out at 9K.
Yeah, and nothing even to buy for his team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Phoenix or Omen gonna go ahead and refund his gun, and maybe get a gun for Phoenix here. But Phoenix. Another clean round coming up from Vespa. Not much done by SMSU. I think it's a mistake. You know, taking that stinger into that long angle, giving them opportunity. Hide on site when you have those cheaper buys. You can't afford
Yeah.
to take long angles.
And we're not seeing much of the utility come out from SMSU's Breach, which Breach on his own has the solo ability to completely cancel out a push if he uses his utility smartly, but little bit of damage. Or, no, actually no damage going out. Apologize.
Really nice play there from the race as Jaffro gets a pick in bathrooms by the looks of it.
Papa Scrub's going on a really long lurk here from the back, but
And he's going to be able to tell his team what's going on with this rotation here.
does manage to pick up the Phoenix, so now it's a 5v3 situation. SMSU with a 2-man advantage.
And look at this, is such a nice setup from SMSU. They have full control over that, so they just rotate Jaffro over. They know they need to be attacking the other side, so why not rotate an extra member over there early? Pinching the map a little bit.
They do have that man advantage, but now they're down 1 man. It's a 3v2. Oh, it's now a 2v2 on the B site, but neither of SMSU's other men are there. Kind of lurking, not sure what Vespa's doing. Now it's a 2v1 situation. Raze is possibly going to be able to get Spike down here.
They should just wait for bomb plant here. They don't need to peek aggressively.
Yep. Oh, 1v1 situation. Papa Scrubs here. He has his ult. He has almost full utility, but he's not using any of it.
10 seconds left.
Raze is going to hear that, but he does manage to pick up Raze.
That's big. He decided to save his ult, a little bit of a risky play, and it actually pays off, able to get that kill without it. So now he'll have ult into a future round, and maybe snowball that into yet another round win.
Yeah, SMSU has three really big ults, especially 2 very important ults on their Breach and on their Killjoy. Both Killjoy and Breach's ults can solo stop pushes onto sites, and SMSU should utilize that in these rounds. They should use them when they can to try and get some momentum here. They are down 4-1, and I have to see how they manage to do this. Seeing a little bit of a different setup here from Vespa, kind of splitting a lot of their characters around the map, but just really focusing on that mid control. They do take out the sentry bot from Killjoy early, and all it comes out from Vespa's Sova doesn't manage to tag any, but now it's a 5v1 situation. Now a 5v3 situation. Vespa's Killjoy is very low, but SMSU needs to be able to get into sight and manage that. Jaffro did actually use his ult that round. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he ulted into elbow there during that attack.
SMSU losing another man now in a 2v5 situation, not picking up any of Vespa's agents, and they really need to make a move here. But Vespa has full sight control. They have all these angles locked down, and it is just nearly impossible for SMSU to actually get in there and establish any form of sight control to try and make a pick or get a retake.
Yeah, a really nice execute coming out from Vespa there. They're able to take care of all the threats they needed to. No one goes down on Vespa, building that economy even stronger. And SMSU were on a force buy that time, so they're actually going to be on a partial buy coming into this 7th round.
I would almost like to see SMSU almost full save this round and set their economy up a little bit better. If they do lose this round, it is the 2nd loss bonus, so they don't get quite as much as they were getting. When they got that 1 round win, it did reset their loss bonus, which it doesn't necessarily hurt their economy, but it makes it harder for them to continue to keep pushing out rifles. Jaffro managed to get a cheeky kill with his classic, managed to get that Vandal, but SMSU in a 3v4 situation.
Do like this play by Jaffro. He knows that they're going to be threatened now from bathrooms. He actually probably heard that rotate coming over.
Dark Crystal does have the Killjoy ult out, and is now going to use it to try and shut down this push, but man, pushes onto sight. Does just have the classic, and is going to try and get some damage out, but Killjoy ult is going to be activating here, and doesn't actually catch any of the members of Vespa.
And Vespa
now
could just take
Vespa-
teleporter here. They know where the last person is. They can
Yeah,
either take
Vespa's
the fight,
just
take
rotating
teleporter.
off here, and Array.
And this round is over. There's nothing Reyna will be able to do. This is such an
Reyna here
awkward
needs to
rotate.
just.
Yep,
There
grab a
should be a
gun.
rifle here.
Spike planted.
Does manage to pick up the Vandal, but really should just save this Vandal. SMSU's economy needs it. They need the save here from Reyna.
Especially has full light shields here. But is going to decide to play it this time.
Takes some shots, so Vespa knows where he is, and looks like he's probably going to get peeked from the other angle. Isn't isolating these angles, and gets easily taken out by that Sova.
A little too sidetracked staring at that same angle. You know, he shouldn't re-challenge you. Should just ignore that angle, walk into U-Haul, see what pressure you can make. But let's see if SMSU are able to come back here. Now, this Breach Alt's been up forever now. This has been about 4 rounds with Breach Alt up, and he just hasn't committed it to these fights, losing the gun duels before deciding to use the Breach Alt. That's really preventing SMSU from getting ahead in this match.
Yeah, we keep seeing a lot of aggressive positioning from SMSU onto the bathroom side. Now, the defenders do get the chance to peek that bathroom angle before attackers do. But they have two players up in there, but their Omen smokes it off, so they aren't just possibly there to set up a crossfire, but oh, but one thing to notice about Vespa is none of them have bomb. They do have their, I believe that is their Phoenix, quite close to it, so he can rotate over to get bomb, but interesting. Oh, SMSU loses 2 members out of their bathroom. Had that crossfire set up and didn't manage to even capitalize on one of them. But now Vespa, they're going to have their Rays back off, and SMSU has their 3 members. Jaffro starts to rotate over, but he needs his other 2 teammates to rotate with him. They need to do a coordinated retake here. They're in a 3v4 situation.
Yeah, they really should know that once those first 2 players go down.
And Jaffro takes one out, but they really need, Killjoy for SMSU isn't rotating over. Now Jaffro is just in a 1v3 situation essentially here on site. Throws out the smoke, does have his paranoia. And bomb is going to go down for Vespa. Now with even 3v3 situation, but Jaffro is in a tough spot here up in heaven. Does get smoked out by the Vespa Omen. Don't see a recon dart come out from SMSU. Their Sova is quite low. Tries to push that U-Haul, but has incredibly low health. Needs to play off of his teammate. Jaffro manages to pick up one, but there's one more in U-Haul, and Jaffro has 30 health. Spike it down and gets taken out.
Too. Unfortunate coming out from SMSU. 1-7 here now for SMSU. In a really tough spot. You know, you do like to rack up at least a few rounds, hitting 5-6 on defense. Feels really good, but they're going to have to come out with a really strong attacker side if they're going to want to win this game, because they've fallen significantly far behind on this defending side.
Yeah, and you know, SMSU, they have the utility on their team to shut down pushes, but they're just not utilizing it. They're only running 1 duelist in that Reyna compared to the 2 from Vespa, and Vespa's 2 duelists are absolutely dominating this game. Their Phoenix is 13-2, and their Raze is 11-2, and SMSU just doesn't seem to know how to compete against it. A really weak recon dart tries to come out there from Sova. Very easy to shoot the way that he was bouncing that. But SMSU does have the man advantage here. Their Sova is fairly weak, but they get some info. They get some more damage down onto Phoenix. Well, just a little bit. But now a 3v2 situation, and Killjoy and Omen are once again split on the map and aren't with each other to try and play off of each other. They need to get into position to try and pinch this site. The flash does come out from Omen, but he doesn't push out onto it. Does have the Bucky, tries to get something, but Killjoy gets picked up in hookah, and now with only 26 health, it'll be quite a miracle if Jaffro can take this out. But he does have the Bucky, and the Bucky's right click is quite powerful. But he does get seen by David, Vespa's Omen, and easily taken out. Only one bullet to kill him there, and that's an 8th round win now for Vespa. And this is looking quite the opposite from what we saw last week. We saw very, very dominant SMSU 13-2 on Ascent, and now on Bind, they just don't seem to know what to do.
Yeah, it looks like there's kind of 2 power duelists on the Vespa side that are really just taking this game over. 14-3, 13-2. The rest of their team, 7-5, 6-4, 3-5.
SMSU's Breach still has that ult.
Yep, and we've been talking about that for 5-6 rounds now, and it just needs to come out at some point. It would have been recharged by now.
Yeah.
Easily. And getting pushed in again and still hasn't brought out the ult. That's where I'd like to see an ult into a long push, but seems to be a little scared to make an aggressive move.
Yeah, I would really like to see Breach just, utilize his utility and manages to just get taken out easily there from B long. SMSU having their Reyna and Killjoy rotate over now, but Killjoy not leaving A site. SMSU in a 3v4 situation. Jeffro gonna try and do what he can, but needs his teammates there to help him out. Vespa's gonna push into elbow here. Jeffro gets taken out, doesn't have his crosshair high enough, and that Killjoy just clicks on his head. Reyna does manage to pick up one, but gets taken out after a dismiss wears off, and that is another round win for Vespa.
Yeah, a little bit of a poor dismiss there. Knew that Reyna was going to get pushed by a different angle, but dismissing there gives you the inability to fight back with your gun, having dismiss out. If you're going to dismiss there, you really need a knife out and make it around that corner to make sure you don't get pushed. But let's see what SMSU are able to put together. Another half by coming out. Really unfortunate from SMSU. Round 10 here, or 10 rounds down, around 11 here, so next round will be the last round of the half. And it looks like Sova may have overspot a little bit, down to 900.
Jeffro does have his ult here. And that Breach still having his ult needs to not die early in this round. Breach has a lot of utility and a lot of strength for his teammates to play off of, and needs to not put himself into compromising positions where he gets easily taken out. SMSU is actually rotating over now, but man down situation, but it's essentially a 2-man down situation because their Killjoy is nowhere to be seen. Killjoy is going to go through the teleporter here. He's going to push Hookah here. Papa Scrubs has that ult, and now is the time to use it.
I'm going to guess that he's going to save it for the gun round, but I would really just like to see the ult go out just to see it used. If we go this half without seeing that Breach ult come out, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah, that Breach ult is incredibly powerful. He can essentially cover the entire site. Maybe a little difficult for him to use that there. Had he used it, he would have had some of his teammates be in the range of it, and his teammates more than likely would have gotten concussed unless they were really quickly to get out of it, or if he had positioned it very well. SMSU has 4 ults here, and this is the last round of the half, so they need to use them. And we see 2 Ops and 3 Odins come out on the side of Vespa. Vespa really not worried about this. Just going to do a full push mid. Has all those Odins, and SMSU has 2 players in bathroom. Breach has his ult, and now is the time to use it, especially. Keeps trying to beat this order and gets taken out by the op. Doesn't get to use his ult. SMSU does have a Killjoy ult and an Omen ult.
We might have to check that Breach's PC at the end of the game to see if their R key is broken, because that R has not been used yet this game.
I believe R is League of Legends, but his
yes,
X
it
key
is.
definitely. We have had too many years playing League to know that R is the ult.
Yeah, R is ult. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, a double sprayed out through the smoke. Jaffro able to clutch their own maybe. Is this?
Oh, but Spike is gonna go off before he can manage to get the defuse. And SMSU now going into this second half on attackers is down 11 to 1. and they are going to need to pull out all the stops and a miracle to win this game.
Yeah, this isn't very likely from SMSU. I would like to see them at least string together a couple rounds here, win the pistol,
Mhm.
get in, get a gun round, win a gun round or two, make this game a little bit closer, and then I can start believing in the comeback. But with the way it looks right now, with Phoenix and Race, how well they're doing, Sova now up there in the leaderboards as well. I have a hard time believing in the comeback until you start to see some sort of momentum coming from SMSU here.
Yeah. Historically, we have seen that SMSU doesn't do as well on defending side. I'm not quite sure why that is. I don't know if it's they're not utilizing their utility correctly, they're not setting up crossfires or playing off of each other in a manner that's more conducive to defending. But they seem to get really aggressive, and their aggression helps them on attackers, but on defense, it just hinders them. And now, three-man push out through the smoke onto A site. Phoenix Flash is going to come out. And now a 2v3 situation. Array on Reyna, the only one left alive. Arguably one of the better characters on pistol round, but gets taken out by that Raze with the frenzy. And now
Alright, so SMSU does know they need to force buy here. Did you see how quickly that wrap came through from the defense as well? They just pushed straight through the other site, and by the time SMSU was set up to actually attack, there was people behind them, hitting them from behind already.
Yep. That is definitely the major risk of trying to rush a site like that. You leave yourself open to the flank, and you don't leave yourself the ability to catch out those early rotators because they're pushing into you. Jaffro trying to use the Bucky here. Goes out of smoke and is just going to get pinged by that dart and shot through it. SMSU already in a 5v2 situation. Breach the only one left alive. Does pick up one, but...
And there we see a little bit of the inactivity of SMSU coming there. You saw the aggression coming out from Vespa, how they grouped together, they worked as a team and pushed through the SMSU defenses. But SMSU, I mean, at the end, we just saw a Breach sit in the middle of the smoke.
Yeah. And, Breach holding on to his ult for...
what was that, 9 rounds?
9 rounds or so.
Yeah.
If he used it at the beginning of that 9 round, 7 rounds later, even if he doesn't get a kill,
yeah,
I would
have been happy to see the Breach ult, even if it didn't hit anybody.
Yeah.
Just to see it come out, because it's frustrating seeing that the ultimate there and available for so long. Even though he was the second best performer on the team, I think it really hinders the rest of the team when people aren't using their utility to set other people up for plays.
Yeah, I don't think I saw Breach use his aftershock, his basic E ability there once. You can use that through the walls, and you can use his flashes through the walls. I would have liked to see Breach flashing for some of if his teammates were gonna be really aggressive. I'd like to see that Breach flashing for them to enable their aggression instead of trying to be that initial aggressor himself.
Yep, and I agree. I mean, it's what Breach is good at, right? Is setting up his teammates, and we didn't see a lot of that coming out from SMSU here. We saw a lot of individual attempts at plays, but Vespa just played together as a team, and they weren't going to allow, even when you get a kill, most of the time it was traded instantly, or they're just pushed 2 in and each took one person out from SMSU.
Yeah, we did see SMSU. We did see one display of teamwork from SMSU. They tried to set up a crossfire in bathrooms, but Vespa just pushed through the smoke and managed to take out both of the teammates there, and SMSU didn't get a single kill from that crossfire.
Which is crazy to me. SMSU should definitely, when you're holding that crossfire, if one person dies, sure, but you can't lose that. That 2 versus 1 essentially what it ends up being. But that is it for our Valorant broadcast of the night. We'll be wrapping up here. Join us on Tuesday for our Hearthstone game. That should be an interesting game coming out. Renegade looking for her first win of the season. Has had a lot of close games, so make sure to turn into that. That starts at 7 p.m. Central Time.
All right. Thank you for turning into SMSU Esports.
Have a good one.